and good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Today is all about working on product OS within Hermes Agent. Ooh, nice little POV. I hit the wrong key, but I like that. How's everyone doing today? Morning. Good morning. Yeah, sorry about the delay today. Morning, Matthew. Morning, Ryan. Good morning, John. Or I guess good evening, I believe, for you. If I remember correctly. Let's make sure we're all good to go here. For you. Perfect. Sounding good. Ooh, sounds fun. Sounds oily. No pun intended. What's up, Pokemon? Looking good. Yes, sir. All right, so ooh, this POV is actually cutting off part of the OS, so I think we're gonna have to go with this one. Man, I might have to reposition this down here, no? I feel like this is better because I always leave this toolbar open. I don't know, we're gonna play with it, see how it feels, and yeah, there's nothing down there that I'm blocking, so I feel like if anything, I'll keep this open like this. That way you see the full screen. But as you can see here, so here's what I've essentially decided on. I was going back and forth on making Hermes Agent, my main. I don't vibe with this layout, but I don't want to have two separate dashboards operating independently, causing any type of disconnect. So I'm configuring Product OS in a way where the ops dashboard is actually a direct reflection of the Hermes Agent dashboard. And then all of these side modules that we have are essentially plugins, right? So we haven't built out the plugin side. We're still optimizing these. But that's kind of how I decided to take this approach so that there's no disconnect. So that as I continue to work on Product OS, it's a direct reflection of the Hermes Agent dashboard. Almost, right? The UI is going to look a little different, obviously, but yeah, this all still feels a little bit too bubbly. So, first things first, though, I really liked that. Where was it? Wasn't here. Was it maybe this? No. It was Cult UI, I believe. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, the magnetic dock. Ooh, I want to see how we can implement this into Product OS because this is really cool looking. I bet. Good evening, F World. Welcome back. All right. Interesting. There are some missing threads. Has anyone discovered this? How are there missing threads? Let's see here. Yeah, no, that's not the most recent one. All right, we'll just start a new thread here. I feel like there's a nice way to kind of split this. Bring that in, hide that. First, I'm letting him download all memory and kind of get tuned with Product OS here. So let's give it a second. Yeah, we got to optimize these dashboards here. Seeing how that looks. Actually kind of cut that to where, yeah, that looks better. So I'm just going to prep some prompts as Neo spins up all the data here. All right, so first things first, I want to start optimizing these components, and then we'll go through the ops dashboard to make sure that each tab is a direct reflection of the Hermes Agent dashboard like we discussed in the past. It was that sweet spot in the middle that we found that allows us to not have two separate sources of truth, right? Two separate dashboards, right? Product OS's ops dashboard directly feeds off of Hermes Agent in all underlying tabs. And then for each of our products that we have along that left vertical menu bar, we're going to create separate plugins per. That way, you know, as we're navigating throughout Product OS, we have that master Kanban that, you know, is a direct reflection of all the tasks system wide. But then if we go into ClawCrib or Prompt Browser, for example, that Kanban board only filters, you know, that product's tasks. Now, before we do anything though, cosmetically, I want to try to apply this magnetic dock to the left-hand side instead of that vertical menu. Yeah, let's start there, and let me know if you have any questions. Unless I go back. Sorry about that. We had a slight disconnect. Switching from scene to scene. That's weird. That is very weird. I wanted to play with this POV scene to try to... because I like the vibe of this one more. Don't you guys agree? But I can put this one down here so it doesn't interrupt with anything on the dashboard itself, right? Let me know what you guys think about this layout. I know it's very minor, but And then let me change this one as well. Put this down here. That way, as we navigate, we'll keep it POV for now. And part of me wants to spin up a whole bunch of, you know, threads in parallel. The problem, though, I feel like is it might be conflicting, right? It might be working on the same files or the same code base. So I think once we get to the point where we're working on ClawCrib, Prompt Browser, Community independently, then we can spin up separate threads to work within those modules. But let's first dial in a few things before we create a bunch of threads to kind of jump around. Oh man, yeah, OBS crashed there, so forgive me. Let's see. Activate selected. Just doing a quick test to make sure it comes up. Yep, we're good. All right, let me just pop open a different tab here really quickly. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Always allow. None yet. None yet. Haven't needed to. It's been pretty solid. I'm sure it could improve. Tomorrow we're going to be playing with different memory systems with OpenClaw. And then maybe Thursday we'll piggyback off of that since we're fresh on memory plugins or memory solutions for OpenClaw, and do that for Hermes as well. But I'm the type of person that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? I know all these solutions are great in theory, but if I'm not running into any issues, why should I go down that path yet? You know what I mean? Maybe I should only go down that path once it becomes an issue for me. But for the most part, when I start new threads, there's no disconnect, there's no hallucination, there's no forgetting. It's been pretty solid. It just takes a little while to get going on a fresh thread, as you can see here. This is the first time I noticed that a thread is missing, though, which was weird. Has anyone run into that with Hermes, where you'll start a thread within Discord, right? And it just vanishes from one day to the next? Afternoon, Mr. Baker. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well today. Ah, the specific thread issue? Interesting. Interesting. I wonder, is it like a known issue right now? Let's Here, let me pop open another tab to kind of work off 3 windows here. I did not update Hermes today. Ah, that's good to hear. Oh no, it looks like the last release was 5 days ago. I guess it's when they highlight, you know, when they incorporated this multi-agent Kanban. Oh, and this is, I believe, was this Peter who said this yesterday? That goal is pretty overpowered. We'll test that today. And I believe we're going to test something else. Let's go double check. Comfy UI. I believe that was a skill we wanted to look into, right? Thanks to Mr. Baker. Let's pop open a new window for skills. Ooh, I actually really love, you know, normally, if I'm not mistaken, table of contents is usually on the left. I really like this. This is just a minor weird thing, but it's off to the right, and I like that. It's just more intuitive to look to the right for that table of contents. Ah, so you're working out of the terminal, I'm guessing, on your local machine? Or Telegram? Interesting. Interesting. Okay, that's why I noticed, like, some days I'll just choose to update Hermes. And I notice I've updated it since, like I want to say 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, since that major release, and it did pull those commits. So that's good to know. That's good to know. I mean, let's see what we're missing then. Wait, how do we view it in an easy to view list format? There's got to be a way to view that, right? Ooh, what's this? Auxiliary title generation failed, connection error. Okay. Start off adding this magnetic dock. And then in the meantime, I do want to figure out what that error is about, because, I mean, he responded, right? Like, there wasn't necessarily an issue. Let's remove that. If it's feeding me to this page, is it a .env variable that's missing? Use a mix of Telegram and the default CLI, and then the newer TUI. Okay. Yeah, this is always the best approach, to be honest. Yeah, I've noticed this. Yeah, did you, I mean, if you saw that raw demo I dropped of me configuring my growth agents, like on Hermes side, there was some bleed. But on the OpenClaw side, there wasn't any bleed. But I still made sure to go through all the channels and, you know, remove access from any agent that didn't need access to that channel, or any Discord bot for that matter that's connected to an agent. But I noticed that Hermes, there was bleed from with one agent bleeding into other chats. That's why I did that. So while Hermes is great, like OpenClaw nailed it as far as not bleeding into other channels that we didn't give it access to. But that's good to hear. That's good to hear. That's awesome. All right, now let's also start looking at some other components, because like this whole dashboard here, it just feels like a wall of text. It's not really giving us much. It feels too bubbly too. So I want to start looking at other components that we can incorporate into this. Even the Kanban feels too bubbly, right? So let's go and find. And what's interesting is I could have sworn that's Ubuntu text, right? Yeah, that looks like Ubuntu text. All right. I'm going to start just a really big master prompt here for the ops module as well. All right, so for the ops module, you know, overlooking the overview, this definitely leaves room for improvement. This just feels like a wall of text with, you know, this is supposed to be a snapshot into all of the tabs. So ideally we should see tasks, priority tasks module where we get a preview into the Kanban board, but not the full outright Kanban board. You don't need to call this master Kanban, just call it Kanban. Or you know what? Let's actually take this opportunity to call it a PM board. I like that better. And make sure that obviously the wiring between Product OS and Hermes dashboard stays consistent, stays updated. And if me renaming Kanban to PM board causes issues, let's leave it Kanban. For sessions, I don't see any active sessions in Product OS. So first, you know, we got to fix that link, because when I go to Hermes Agent and view sessions, I can see all the recent sessions, you know, in a table format, essentially. Rather, this is more of a list format with just multiple rows, where I can then, you know, each row is an accordion option that I can expand down, and then I can see the whole conversation, right? I want that similar functionality. But for active sessions, you know, and this is for active sessions, I want them to look like a terminal interface that we can then click on. And a terminal interface, I can give you a screenshot of something ideal, but I want to see what you come up with first. And then below the active sessions, right? Recent and yeah, essentially recent, like those should be listed out in individual accordion rows that we can then, by default, they're collapsed, right? We have the option to click on them to expand them down to view the whole conversation of that session. I like the idea of configuring it this way. And remember, right, we're not reinventing the wheel. This is a direct reflection of the Hermes Agent dashboard. For analytics, I mean, Hermes Agent dashboard analytics looks great, but on Product OS, it's essentially blank. It says it needs an adapter, so this was never linked properly. For agents, let's see. Looks like that's profiles. I mean, I don't think there's anything missing, but this is an opportunity to structure our agents tab to look more like an org chart than anything. I can give you a screenshot of something to reference if you need. Let me know if you have any questions. By default, it's me, the human, the CEO up top. and then Neo, the COO right below me, and then all underlying agents below Neo. For the crons page, looks good. Looks like everything's linked. I'm going to give you some inspiration to change these components a bit. For models, it says needs adapter. We need to look into that. For logs, again, this feels too bubbly. Let's go look at the logs. I think we should just try to mirror the Hermes Agent logs tab as much as possible, right? We have just the agent log that looks like a terminal interface that shows just a real-time runtime of everything that's happening on the system. And then along the top, we can filter by agent, by error, by gateway. We can select the level, debug, info, warning, error, and then the component, gateway, agent, tools, CLI, cron, and then the number of lines we want. Let me know if you need a screenshot. You shouldn't, but let's optimize logs, and then let's go check out capabilities. Where is capabilities? You know what's funny? I don't even see capabilities on the Hermes Agent dashboard, so where's this coming from? And then I haven't needed to do this yet, but I think what I'm going to do, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you should always be referencing the Hermes Agent docs section. I'm going to give you a link, but this is your single source of truth for working on this dashboard, right? Yeah, I've noticed like one of the benefits with Hermes over OpenClaw is sometimes OpenClaw, depending on the model you use to power your agents, it tries to guess. It doesn't always, or at least in the past, it didn't always reference docs.openclaw.ai, right? Whereas Hermes Agent Dashboard or Hermes Agent in general, I haven't had that issue, but I am going to paste in that link here. Interesting. Compression summary failed. Connection error. Inserted a fallback context marker. I mean, we started a new session, right? I mean, it doesn't even find anything here. Where's the troubleshooting section? Yo, what's up, Sharma? Welcome back. How you doing today? Today we're just vibing. We're just working, optimizing product OS as per the title and thumbnail of this live stream states. And we're vibing our way through the process. I think I'll use my other screen as well, so I'm not limited here. Yeah, I'm seeing some errors today that I have not seen before. We saw this one. We saw this one as well. I really wish there was a troubleshooting section. I was trying to look off screen here so I keep this shown. Instead, let me, instead of manually searching, I'm just going to use AI to find this. So apparently it's under reference. FAQ and troubleshooting. Okay, these are just basic questions. Let's just grab this one. And just search the page, shall we? Nothing. I mean, ideally, if you search the whole docs... Ooh, nice. We found some. I don't know why this wasn't coming up before when I was looking for it. Interesting. I mean, I don't have any fallbacks set. And then what's... Oh, let's go ahead and check this first, though. I love that even though it errors, it will continue the work. This is one little perk here as well. Because on OpenClaw's side, I've noticed, like, listen, this is not me saying I'm going to replace OpenClaw. I'm not. It's way too integrated into Clearmud's day-to-day. But when I get an error from OpenClaw, I get an error from OpenClaw. It ends the session. It ends that particular flow of chat, of execution. Whereas Hermes, we're seeing errors, but it continues the work, which is really cool. Wait, did I... Oh, that's because that's a whole different search. So this seems like a config issue more than anything. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to grab this. So, bam, and then... And then bam. All right. Let's go test that magnetic dock, shall we? Ooh. I don't like it. I feel like this is better for the bottom row. I feel like if you followed the bootcamp, the OpenClaw bootcamp, this magnetic dock will be a great addition if you like that effect. Right? But for Product OS's case, I do not like how that looks. I mean, it's cool, but it's unnecessary, I feel like. And if anything, as I scroll, it should scroll with me. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe we leave it. All right. Let's leave the magnetic dock for now. The only issue I see is when there's a lot of context on one particular page, or rather tab, it's not sticky. It doesn't scroll with me. I feel like if we're going to have a magnetic dock that's fixed in the middle of the left-hand menu bar like that, it should scroll with me. That way I can change modules, you know, if I'm midway through a tab. All right, we're giving it a lot to do with this next one. Nice. I made my finance agent become my personal expense tracker. Quick question, can OC agents read iMessages from chats they aren't configured in? This is a good question. So have you given your OC agent full access? I think this depends on your environment. I personally have not tried that. I personally don't use OpenClaw natively on my Mac OS X. I have it sandboxed in a VM so that it can't access anything. I also don't use iMessages, right? I don't have an iPhone. So I can't speak to this. But my first question would be, do you have OpenClaw installed with full access to your root Mac OS X that you use on a daily basis that has access to your iMessages? Because if so, it should, but I think you might have to communicate that with your agent as well, or with your system in general. But I think it's just depending on your environment. I would think it should and it could, but does it do it natively? I'm not sure. Ah, same sandbox. It shouldn't. It shouldn't, no. But again, like, do you have OpenClaw installed on your mobile? Because I know there's little workarounds that allow you to pull that off now. But going back to it, I don't think it should have access. Not by since you're sandboxed, no, it shouldn't. I have not. I'm set to default. On the Hermes dashboard, go to models, and on the right, click show auxiliary. It will show you all those model settings. Nice. Look at Mr. Baker with the alpha. Thank you. Models. Where you at? Show auxiliary. Yeah, everything's auto. Everything's set to auto. I did not change any of this. One thing I just realized, what thinking level am I set on? Why isn't it showing up? Isn't it /thinking? Or is it Hermes? I'm just going to write in help. Try to get an idea of model help. I'm pretty sure I set it to medium by default when I first configured it. But there should be an easy way to switch it, no? I don't see a model thinking level command here. I'm just gonna try guessing. Nope. Nothing happens. Interesting. Yo, Mr. Baker. Reasoning, that's what it is. Well, that's why. That is why. Look at that. Okay, we are medium. Okay. Part of me feels like I should go high for this for today. What do you operate off of, Mr. Baker? I found that on OpenClaw, medium is the sweet spot for agents to get, for just Muddy and all of the C-suite team to actually get work done efficiently. But I know within the Codex app, when I'm working with GPT-5.5, sometimes I do switch to high reasoning for a little bit more complex or involved tasks and builds. I'm curious to see, what level of reasoning are you using on your Hermes agent setup? Currently have to copy paste text from Bank's SMS. Wanted a way it could monitor it automatically and just give me reports, but hey, 2 more clicks until I think of a workaround. I mean, you could always... Yeah, that's tough. I'm sure there's something you can do. You're just essentially giving your agent more access to your messaging system. And if you're okay with that, then by all means do it. The only concern I would have is just make sure that your system is not vulnerable, so that if somebody hacks in, they then don't have access to all of your private messages, right? That would be my only concern up front. As long as that is sound, that's secure, then why not, if you're okay with it? Okay. Okay. Good to know. Seems like medium high. All right. I've been happy with it. I've been thrilled with it. Maybe though, for today, it might not be a bad idea just to start testing high reasoning. Oh, let's also, something I didn't get to test. No, this is what's wrong with my squirrel brain. I want to multitask too much. I want to multitask way too much. Like, I want to go jump on OpenClaw related OSs right now, but listen, for the sake of the stream and the topic, I'm not going to do that. To wit. I personally won't be doing that, but by all means, let her rip. Man, still? Clicked the wrong thing, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. And I think specifically for agents, right? Specifically for OpenClaw and Hermes. Listen, I know we're focused on this, but I'm gonna definitely add that in. Start the YouTube script process. Solid. Thank you, Matthew. I know I recently did a reasoning level test, but it was just more, I think we were working out of Codex, if I'm not mistaken, or we were working out of the CLI. That's right, it was a Opus versus ChatGPT test. But listen, like the more and more, like we're getting close to my 100 long form. Let's go check, actually. There's no way we're only at 50 videos. Why is that feed incorrect? This should actually show... Oh no, it's showing all the live streams. That's weird. That's a weird bug. wonder if maybe because this is only showing, huh. Whoops. We're gonna scroll here a little bit since our agent is still working. Is there a counter somewhere of 94? So listen, we're at 94 long form videos. That's another 6 videos to go until I had this initial goal when I first started the channel of get to 100 long form videos and then pick a lane. I think I've already found my lane, right? I think it's specifically working around AI agents, at least in the short term, and then sprinkle in these other videos from time to time, but really just focus all my time and attention into videos that show you how to use these agent systems. I think that's the move. That's where I get the most energy from. That's where I think the most value lies, because everyone's trying to automate certain workflows. Everyone's trying to learn about AI agents. So I think I might end this a few episodes early. I mean, if we go look at my content calendar, it's let's see, Hermes, OpenClaw versus Hermes, or no, this week. Wait. Oh yeah, this should go down. That's what confused me. Hermes, this one might actually get moved. Yeah, these two are similar. I may honestly demote those and then move this MuddyOS deep dive here. I mean, I've been backlogging this paperclip test because I just have no need to test it. I just have no need. But I have gotten a lot of requests about this one here. So like, I should pump this out. Yeah. But yeah, we're pretty much all OpenClaw and Hermes focused moving forward, I think, is the move. With a touch of Codex app and Claude desktop app as they start to improve and evolve, you know. I love it. I mean, I gave him a lot of work. Yeah, I'd imagine that we're utilizing Kanban worker lanes within each of our product module. Let's actually do a hard refresh. I'm impatient. No, it did not apply those changes yet. Now, I also want to start looking at different components for the dashboard itself. So I think it was Watermelon UI that I really wanted to test. I just wanted to make sure I go through each one again. Oh yeah, the bento looks nice. I mean, I don't like... Ooh. I mean, imagine a bento grid right here. This would be more digestible. All right. I swear I need to have a keybind to mute the mic. Yeah, 100%, right? And I think it's just more so about, you know, because I've been testing different concepts, different ideas for almost 100 videos now. But I get the most fun and energy out of AI agents, right? And I work with them every day. So it's like primarily OpenClaw over Hermes. I'm still dipping my toes into Hermes, but I'm learning every day. Nice, nice, very nice. Interesting. Okay. Very interesting. I like this. Thank you. Animated components, huh? And these are some great components for web apps and just mobile apps in general. Ooh. Ooh. And I think for our dashboards, right, when I'm looking at product OS, and as we start to deploy more products, right, let's first start off with our ops module overview, right? This should be a kind of like a health check or keep our finger on the pulse. So it shouldn't look like a wall of text. It should be easy to digest information. I found this component that I want to incorporate into each of our overview tabs. Some, just add this as a rule of thumb to where it shows a brief preview of a particular task or tool or health checker for that matter. But then you can click on it and it expands, but not like a traditional accordion, right? So let's start off in the ops tab for this, but and I can get a little bit more specific as far as where to apply this component. I want you to use your reasoning to determine this by yourself, but this is definitely something I want to incorporate onto our dashboards. All right, we'll wait for that to finish up. What's up, Vitamax? Man. And this is, I'm guessing, using APIs. And what are you using to rack up that bill? OpenClaw or Hermes? I'm guessing Hermes, since this live stream is titled Hermes Agent. Yeah, that's a bummer. Listen, I've been having a lot of success with OpenAI subs. And you don't have to pay more than your sub, It might be worth it if you have the budget to go test the $200 a month OpenAI sub. Listen, this is not a paid promo. They're just killing it. Especially with GPT-5.5. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't fully given up on Anthropic. I still have one of my max subs, but I find myself using it less and less every day, which is a bummer. Do I need to make more coffee? Well, I got just enough to fill one more cup. Okay, active sessions are now loading. I mean, I don't like how this looks, but we're getting somewhere. Okay, nice. Looks a little bit better. Definitely a little too condensed for my liking, but we'll get there. All right, nice. It's doing the work. It's doing the work. What happens when we add 500 lines? Let's go back to overview, see if this is sticky yet. It's not sticky yet. I would sub at the $100 tier to start. See how you go. Yeah, yeah. Forgive me. I just said, you know what? Why not? Just full send. This is the smarter move for sure. You know, we live and we learn. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of Anthropic. Some people, you know, in the past had found that their weekly resets benefited them, but it was always a net negative for me. They would always do a weekly reset when I was timing out my week accordingly, when I was like riding close to 100% on the $200 max plan. Like I would plan so much work on the last day, and then they would go ahead and reset my week the day before it was supposed to reset. So I lost all of that usage. And I'm like, man, like, but then some people would say it was a benefit to them because they had already maxed out 100% on the week, right? So it's like, I was always on that negative end of it on Anthropic's resets, always. I don't think I ever got a positive weekly reset from them. Pass one is implemented, verified locally. Right. Interesting. Do I need to do that over here? Let's control out. Or was that agent dash browser install? Nope. It's a bummer. All right, let's test. Nope. That left menu bar is not sticky. Do a hard refresh a few times. Okay, interesting. Gave me this little vertical filter menu. Don't necessarily love it. And I also think we need to... All right, some notes with your changes. The magnetic dock is not sticky. So for example, on the ops module on the overview tab, when I scroll down, since that's a big page, that left menu bar does not scroll down with me. Additionally, I'd like to analyze our front-end design skill for Product OS. I think that a lot of these corners are too rounded. I want to like cut back 50% of this radius. It just feels too bubbly for me personally. Is this a matter of analyzing and adjusting our front-end design skill, or was this something I specified that we need to build off of when we first started? I can't remember. Let's think of doing the sub, but since we can't use it in OpenClaw, I was just doing API. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, so listen, OpenAI is the only frontier model that has publicly stated they allow you to use their subscriptions with AI agents, namely OpenClaw, but they haven't, done anything against Hermes, so you can use it for Hermes Agent as well. So that's why it's peace of mind. Now, I wouldn't have recommended you switch at GPT 5.4 because it was just trash with AI agents. But 5.5, listen, it's like I forgot about the OpenClaw ban. Muddy and his team are just executing day to day, week to week. There's no confusion. I'm just very satisfied with that OpenClaw system that is now operating solely off of 5.5. So it's worth a shot, And it's peace of mind knowing that like there's not going to be a ban someday. Like Anthropic was so vague. They were tagged and asked so many times on Twitter and they refused to answer because they knew what was coming. They knew what they were planning to do. Anthropic seemed to reset usage when they screw up. OpenAI seemed to reset usage when they release something new. Yeah, that's a very good observation. Yeah, this too right here. I just I don't want to test it today, but I just incorporated that into Clearmud OS when we made those improvements to the live streams tab for next stream package. This is supposed to now, I just haven't tested it yet. It was an overnight thing I tasked Muddy and team to do. So I guess we can test this at the end of our stream for tomorrow's stream. Let's see. What's tomorrow? I think tomorrow we're mainly focused on lobster and honcho. Looks like I spelled honcho incorrectly. Wait. The H goes there. That's right. So this is what I would probably test here. Yeah. Oh, that's what it does. So first it generates a concept and then it generates the image and then I can choose what avatar in my brand styling kit to use. I feel like there should be an option to say use the best one that fits the thumbnail. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, I'm looking forward to testing that at the end of stream. Were you? I mean, okay, let me give it the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I was being too harsh. Listen, I was getting things done. However, the rate of which I was getting things done was incredibly slow, especially compared to Opus 4.5 before the ban hammer. So like, I think it was my expectations of my agent team, like their effectiveness went down significantly. Yes, they were still effective to some manner, but they weren't as effective as they were. But now with 5.5, I mean, it's like the ban hammer never dropped. It's like I forgot about that, which is awesome. I'm not sure if you guys feel the same. Yo, what's up, Sammy? Welcome back. Doing well, doing well. Today we're working primarily out of Hermes Agent dashboard, building out Product OS, which is my own dashboard that, the ops module is directly correlated to the Hermes Agent dashboard tabs. But I'm creating my own because I want my own product modules. And I just like my own look and feel to my dashboard rather than this Hermes Agent dashboard. Also, if I were to go and rebuild or tweak this Hermes Agent dashboard, this core dashboard, with each new update, it would essentially replace that work from my understanding. So I didn't want to go do all this work on the existing dashboard just to have it cause issues down the road, right? So that's what we're working on primarily. We're just vibing, chatting, looking through docs. And on the $100 and $200 a month. Yeah, listen, I use it a lot now. It's like, it doesn't make my thumbnails outright. I still touch things up in Photoshop, but it's just doing such a great job. Which reminds me, let me duplicate this background. Or let me actually just create a new background. Bring in that image. I think for Hermes related live streams, I want to have a Hermes related background. We have an OpenClaw background. I just now noticed this. Doi. Let's let me first organize that background in the directory it needs to be in so that it doesn't disconnect down the road. All right, OpenClaw, open up new tab, back to Clearmud, creative, modified date. Where is that actually? Why is that not, let's just go ahead and save a fresh image. I'll throw that in the backgrounds directory. And let me also place that in my template videos that I create. That way it's always in my DaVinci Resolve backgrounds directory so that I can use them on videos as well. Thumbnails, visual effects, throw that in there. All right. So now don't mind this. I need to layer it properly. Let's first go full screen and throw that down there. I mean, you can't really tell what we're doing. I feel like I need to create another Hermes optimized background. Right? Because now you can't really, like, it just looks like it's clearly not Hermes. Damn. What if I have that eye just poke out like that? How's that look? All right, I'm gonna have to create an optimized version. All right, we'll test that. Reduce the bubbly feel. We'll test that. Reworked ops overview into a health check pulse surface. Added expandable preview cards inspired by the Colt UI component. All right. And then I think one thing I have to work into our overview tabs is a bento grid because I really just love that look. So we'll probably grab this. Which one do I like most? I feel like for the overview tab, since we're going to incorporate a Kanban board preview on it, I'm guessing one of these with 2 full width rows. Maybe even this one. Huh. Not sure. Oh, look at this. So I'm working on like different backgrounds for the live streams. I kind of like this one. It did a great job. It got rid of the mascot, but you know what? Let's Hermes Fave 2. All right, let me pull that off there. We'll get to that product OS in a sec. Let me just, since I'm on this background tip, let's update this. Transform and fit to screen. Okay. I mean, it's kind of cool looking. I guess I could open up that border just a little bit more. What do you guys think? I know it's super minor, but I kind of like it better. Obviously, since we're working on Hermes, this is a great OpenClaw background that you see here, because you see just a little blurred mascot right here on the left and right. But this Hermes one has a different vibe. I just want to make sure I place them everywhere. Let's place them there too. Voila. And I can always go through and kind of, there we go. All right, let me catch up. Hey, thank you. Yeah, like, I don't want it to be redundant, but I just personally am not vibing with the built-in Hermes Agent dashboard. Thinking about upgrading my $20 a month plan to the 100. Which one to go with? I mean, if you're working with AI agents, OpenAI seems to be the way to go right now. Turned off the skill display for Hermes was a bit much. Yeah, Mr. Baker right here. I think that's on point. Yeah, I heard about that. It was supposed to be the stronger coding agent. I think it got rolled into the 5.4 update, but not sure. Okay. All right. Let's hard refresh this. Ooh. The tabs are still a bit bubbly, but the modules look more like tiles now. I think the content changed as well. But these tabs still feel the same. All right, I'm just going to take a quick bio break. BRB. All right, so not a bad pass. Not a bad pass. Not a bad pass. Now, the tabs up top still have the old radius. They still feel a little bubbly, but you did apply the new radius to our magnetic dock, which is cool. The magnetic dock is now sticky, which I love. It's growing on me. But when it comes to the health check pulse cards, I feel like the contents of the tab are still the old radius. So we want to apply this system-wide across every module, every tab, right? So first handle that. And then when I'm looking at these pulse cards, they don't really tell me anything, right? So and I feel like there's a disconnect with runtime sessions. I'm going to prompt you to see if it shows one active, but and then for the products, I feel like the PM board should be up top. The ops command center ops overview titles, I feel like that's redundant. I know what module I'm in. I know what tab I'm in. Let's just remove that header title. We don't need that. Yeah, here's what's interesting. The health checks, pulse cards, runtime sessions, 0 active. I go up. I see 5 active sessions, 2 products tracked. Like, are these stale tiles? What's going on there? Okay, nice. Let's pull these open here. Let's also go check. Yeah, like it only applied the radius, I feel like, to these modules, nowhere else. It's an interesting disconnect. Everything looks good though. I mean, everything's functioning, everything's working. Is my magnification? Oh no, it's at 100%. Although I kind of like looking at this at 90. All right, these are something we'll have to change as well. So let me also go look at a Kanban related component. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't even think Cult UI has a Kanban card, huh? I feel like I'll have to use... Ooh, cutout card, huh? Mm-mm. Oh, this one has it too. Interesting. Oh, this is cool. It's definitely a great promo landing page component. Not something I would use in our dashboard. What I'm looking for is... Oh, I really like that sortable list. I really like this. I just wish it would expand. I guess this will have to do the job. I won't be using that. Cool, but won't be using that. Ooh, yes, I do want to use this. Yeah, these expand options are pointless here on the postcards. I feel like if anything, it should expand into the PM board task or module. What's interesting is it says there's 5 runtime sessions, but there's a clear disconnect here. Also read this tutorial here. Forgive the garbage truck if you guys can hear it. Sound like they're right outside. What's interesting is they're supposed to come by on Mondays, not Tuesdays. Huh. Now, this is one concern I have with using Product OS's Kanban board is I'm going to want these functions. And what's also interesting is, hey, Mr. Baker, do you know why my Kanban is shown as a plugin and not a part of this built-in list of features? Maybe it's an older version of Hermes that I'm still running. But like all of these tasks, like, or rather all of this functionality I really want. All right, now those expandable card components that you incorporated onto the health checks pulse cards, they're kind of pointless, right? We can see all the information that we need to see on the card itself without expanding. We should only use that when the information of the card can be expanded into a more detailed manner, right? So you kind of put them in a place where they don't deserve to be. I think if anything, on the PM board preview, if we wanted to preview a particular task on the board in the dashboard, that's where you would incorporate that, and then it expands more details into that card with an option to open up the PM board, right? Going to the PM board, something that I think I'm concerned about is when I'm looking at the Hermes Agent Kanban dashboard, there's a lot of functionality, and I'm going to screenshot it. You know, when I click a particular task, this right menu bar slides in. This vertical menu bar from the right will slide in. What would it take for us to recreate the functionality of the Kanban board on Hermes Agent to directly reflect that of Product OS? Like, what's involved here? Is this gonna create two different like single sources of truth, or two different like buckets of data to where Product OS doesn't directly reflect Hermes Agent Dashboard's Kanban board? Because if that's the case, we need to come up with a solution there so that we can fully operate out of Product OS. Additionally, the Kanban board on Product OS, those modules feel a little too bubbly, like that H1 text you use. I feel like we can optimize this a bit more. And then that pop-up PM board card, I'm going to give you a component that I'd rather use. So use this component as an inspiration. Don't just copy it outright. But I think it's a great example. Where was it? Yeah, I'll copy this and paste this in chat for you. I feel like we can definitely jump between integration and deployment. I feel like this one would be more accurate for our PM board. Ah, okay. So maybe their docs section is a bit outdated from previously when it wasn't a plugin. I'm guessing these screenshots. Oh, this is actually really cool for like a photography website right here. Something obviously creative or visual. Wow, I really like this. That is really cool. And it has a vertical for mobile friendly. Ooh, man, I really love that. I have to leave that open, save that for another project.
Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I love it. I have no arguments. Take action. Get it all done. Sorry. Realized I wasn't looking at OBS. Speaking of plugins, if you haven't already, I recommend enabling the disk cleanup plugin so that your agent cleans up after itself. Okay. Also with the Kanban and Hermes, it also has some Kanban skills, so it knows how to fully use it. Maybe worth telling Nia to look at the Kanban skills as well. Right on, I will. Thank you. Yo, what's up, Aries? All is well. I hope the same for you. Danny, welcome back. Yeah, we're just vibing today. We're just vibing. Right? I love it personally. Now I want to test this next stream package. I built testing. This is, we need to improve the logic here because this is not ideal. But you know what? I just want to test this. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I believe I did enable it. I just don't work out of that dashboard often. I do have my own custom chat now. I just haven't, we'll be testing this tomorrow. It just doesn't show specifically, right? It just says tool call and then I have to kind of click in. So it's just the way it lists. I like how it looks. But I do have that enabled in OpenClaw for sure. But thank you. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, listen, it needs some work. Pretty cool, I gotta say, the graphic looks cool. But I mean, let's go ahead and just generate every idea. I think we're gonna have to add in certain features, like when we're talking about something specific, it needs to intelligently pull that icon, or rather that logo. What's up, Sin? What do you mean exactly? Ooh. I love this little progress meter it's showing. Okay, listen, it's doing a lot of work here. This, though, I feel like this could be in a row, but I do love just the overview system-wide of the PM board preview. Okay. I like that. I like how this is coming along. Huh. This image may violate our content policies? Come on now. Is it because I'm trying to use the OpenClaw logo and OpenClaw is now a part of ChatGPT? That's a bummer. Hold on, let me try. Removing. Let's try to use this one. Is there not any sound? Can you not hear me? Or do you hear me? You just don't hear any background music. There is some background music. It's just maybe not loud enough. Here, I just turned it up a little bit. Yeah, we're just listening to some background lo-fi jams and working on this product OS using Hermes. Okay, now it works. Interesting. It didn't like one of those attached images I provided. Huh. Oh, all good, all good. Maybe you had the YouTube sound down. That's good, that's good. Look at this little base I just made for a YouTube thumbnail. At first it didn't want to generate it with a different OpenClaw logo that I uploaded, but I'm working on tomorrow's thumbnail for our live stream. I mean, here, I'll show the process. Why not? But let's also keep this open because I want to keep tabs on the work that it's doing. Yeah, side note, I hit a double day yesterday, so my body's shot today. But I should hit back. I don't know how I feel about this one. I kind of like it. I'm going to save that just as a template to thinking. I love it though. I mean, nice Clearmud blue. I didn't ask for it. Yeah, just to be practical, like this feature, I'm probably not going to use anytime soon. I have to optimize it quite a bit, but this is so cool. Oh, this might have to become a new mascot for us. Wow. What's cool too is I can edit this as well. I wonder if, let's try this. Tool in action, cursor on the decisive step, chat or terminal, visible overlay, watch this work. Make sure to source the OpenClaw logo and use that red lobster mascot on the draft. And let's see if adding that sentence will actually source the logo. I'm curious, because this is using ChatGPT's Gen 2 via Codex. It's like halfway there. It's not perfect. It's not ideal, but I love it. It's making some unique ones. Ooh, look at that. Ah, this might be a winner, chat. This might be a winner. Just put fave at the end of it. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. And copy image. Let's throw this on here, make this smaller. And then let's also split that. So let's make this bigger. Bring him down a little bit. Throw him down as a background. Hide that. We can delete that. I don't like the overlap of the head, so let's first try making our avatar smaller. If not, I'll go generate another one. Whoops, I didn't mean to do anything there. No, stop that. Ah. I hate it when I accidentally click a hotkey that I didn't mean to click. Oh, let's actually try that feature though. Hold on. I don't know Photoshop enough. Oh, it only lets me select part of that. It doesn't let me just select it and move it. Ah, that'd be so cool if it did. Okay. I think we're maybe gonna have this fit to the screen now instead. No, I need this to be all the way there. There we go. A nice slight overlap. That's solid, right? Yeah, that looks good. Let's go back and check on Hermes' work here. What do you mean it has no Chromium? Hey, let's go ahead and install... Does it matter if I choose Brave or Chrome? I want to get you set up with your own browser so that you don't run into this issue. So that you could invoke your dog food skill to do a proper QA on any builds. But let's go look over your pass. I'll test everything here in a moment. Looks good though. I'm excited to test this Kanban board. And yeah, let's first get you dialed in with your own browser though. So you want a Chromium based browser. Answer me about Brave. Brave should be good. Why are you so slow? Oh, Brace, my goodness. Why am I unable to type today? I gotta say, I love it, but it should be shown as a... Yeah, and initial thoughts on the PM board preview on the overview tab in the ops module. This should be shown in rows, right? Side by side. And there should be pill tags showing whether it's triage, to do, ready, in progress, block, done, etc., etc. I think we should color code those a little bit better so they're easier to digest. But this, you know, we're getting there. It's looking much better, but I think we should try to replicate the Kanban board with each respected row. Rather, let me rephrase that. So, you know, we're not always going to have things in the to-do column or the triage column, right? But I'd still rather you list these tiles horizontally rather than this horizontal vertical 2x2 approach. I'm just going to go preemptively download Brave because it should be good. It's a Chromium based browser, so we should be all right. Oh, you kidding me? Come on. Is curl not installed? Interesting. There we go. He's still working. So let's go back to the thumbnail, shall we? I think we should grab our text. I'm not going to use this one or this one. Delete that. I actually want this color overlay to be a yellow. So we'll go FFTD00. Should be a good one. Change that text to black. I feel like that's too bright. Yeah, that's the better yellow. It's the CC00. That drop shadow's way too much. Why isn't that doing anything? Huh. Oh, is it because I have the... Yeah, I have this enabled here. That's why. Shoot. Damn it. Why is this so massive? All right. It's really annoying when I'm working with older text blobs. Not sure there's enough there. Yes, they are, but those are going to be the two main approaches I'm going to dial in for tomorrow's live stream because they've been honestly the most commented about. So we're just going to kind of dig into it from a beginner. I don't know if I'll incorporate both into my setup, but we're at least going to test both one by one. And anything else you guys want to test, really, for that matter. Because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a snapshot of my OpenClaw setup before the stream. And we're just going to have some fun. And if we break things or do something I regret, all I do is simply revert back to the snapshot before we started the live stream. So we're going to use my actual environment as a testing ground. Correct. So maybe I should be a little bit more clear about this, right? So then what should we compare on the thumbnail? Because you're absolutely right. Lobster is more of a workflow tool. Those were my main two talking points for tomorrow, though. Just based off of all of the comments in chat over the past few weeks. Let me go double check something. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Why did I co-locate that into Honcho? I feel like if anything, what was that going on in Discord? Is that Agent 0 that we should test instead? Or no, that's just a completely separate framework. What should we test with Honcho then? Maybe we leave Lobster for a completely separate day. So maybe the move here then is maybe this is a better title for the thumbnail. Yeah, memory plugins, hindsight, that was another one. So let's go to tomorrow's. You're absolutely right. I just wrote. That's funny. I didn't even. So Honcho, hindsight, Mem 0. Heard of this one. Mem Palace. Oh, I think we also have this one as well, Lossless Claw. So this is more context management, but we'll add that to our list. I feel like I should put, because Lossless Claw has been on my to-do list for a long time, so Honcho, Lossless Claw. And then I suppose if we have time, I don't want to test every single one, right? But I think Honcho is definitely top of list because of how many times I've heard of it. Hindsight I've also heard of quite a few times. Lossless Claw was something I discovered on my own. Ah, okay. So we'll add that up there. So that'll be the focus. We'll make these three the focus of tomorrow's episode then. Using my OpenClaw setup as a testing ground. I think that's a solid approach. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Do I need... I think I'm actually going to move the 2 up there to make that line feel smaller. And that's where I'll grab a yellow box and just throw that behind improve. Try to make that pop. Feels a little too condensed, no? Yeah, I really want to increase the spacing. The problem is I'm gonna have to do all this manually. That's a bummer.
Is there an extra space there I'm unaware of? Why is that 0? There we go. 64, 56. You know, I was just thinking of the same thing. I was like, why am I highlighting improve when I feel like it should be improve my... You're absolutely right. Let's call this both 50. Man, I hate having to do this manually. Let's call that 50. Sit for a second. Let's go back here. Yes, it matters. Okay, fine. Oh. Why did that not copy over? Interesting. All right, what is it? Home, Hermes, install Hermes browser.sh. There we go. I think that's good enough. We'll rock it. Cut those thoughts really quickly, wait for this to finish. And I'm just going to use quick bio break real quick.
Oh, that might be a blocker for me. I guess I could fund some API keys worth for the sake of testing. Okay. Nice. Yep. Smart man. This is exactly the approach I would take. This is a little hack that not a lot of people talk about that I want to highlight, right? Anytime you're incorporating something new into your systems or asking your systems to incorporate something new, vice versa, right? You always copy paste the docs into your agent prompt so that it can reference the proper documentation to implement things rather than guessing or doing the research itself. Oh man, it's almost noon, huh? Wow. Yeah, maybe I'll prep a video prop for those two, particularly those two, rather than lossless. I'll throw this one up here. And then hindsight. Let's go find hindsight. I'm guessing it's this one here. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, so we'll include the docs for this one. And then Honcho, of course. Cool. So those are top of mind for tomorrow. Will do. Good to know. All right, as much as I want to keep going, I do have to switch gears here pretty soon. So I'm going to keep this queued. We'll continue on working on Prop Browser Live another time. Listen, I'm going to continue working on it pretty much daily, you know, here and there. I'm going to time block. So the next time we come around to Product OS, it should look significantly different. It should be fully operational. That's the goal, right? I'd love to do it live, but listen, I'm not going to wait to work on this for another live stream. But yeah, tomorrow we're testing memory plugins with my actual OpenClaw setup. And then I think Thursday will still be a great day to just kind of compare the differences between the two. Maybe we can run some tests between the two agent teams. Unless we come up with a better topic for Thursday on tomorrow's live stream. And then Friday is still up in the air. TBD. And we'll kind of figure it out as we go, you know? So, hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And Mr. Baker, thank you for all the alpha, all the knowledge. Same with you, Ryan. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Sin. Thank you, Aries, for stopping by. Thank you, Danny. Thank you, Vida. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Sharma. And thank you, F-World. I want to say John stopped by as well, and I can't, for the life of me, remember the other tags right now. But yeah, listen, thanks for spending your Tuesday with me. I hope you have a great rest of the day. We'll be back at it tomorrow, same time. So until then, happy building. Cheers. Yep, have a good one. Peace.